Hi team, good morning. We'll start session in a few minutes. Hi team. So we'll start in our 2 minutes. So anyone have a questions, maybe you can ask meanwhile.
Good morning, miss. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sure. Let's get started with today's class. If anyone joined today as a first class? No one. Okay, that's good. Fine. If anyone missed our yesterday demo class, please go and visit our YouTube channel, KSR Datavision. We have added our first demo class. You can go through that. If you have any doubts relating our course or anything, please reach out to us. Even by end of our today's class, I'll be explaining a bit more about the course. But now we'll get started with our module 2, that is Python. Okay. Now, before getting started with Python, you guys need to understand something. Python is like an ocean. We cannot go and learn each and everything in Python because you are not a Python developer. Your main aim will be to work with the data. Now, to work with data, how much Python you require, that much Python will go and see. Whatever things that is required for your interview perspective, whatever things they might ask in your interview, those scenarios I'll try to cover. And you guys need to practice along with me. Python is not like a SQL. because you need more practice. If anyone is new to Python, the logic building is not straightforward. But there are a lot of advantages with respect to Python. Today we'll get started with Python. We'll understand what is Python, how can we practice Python, where we can execute our code, and all. We'll try to see those things. And once we get some good hands-on fundamentals, we'll try to move on to the complex part.
Yeah. Sagar, hope it's recording, right?
Oh, sorry. I did not pause. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Please pause it. Okay. Thank you, Nish. Okay. Fine. Now, before getting started with Python, what do you guys think about this image? Okay. You are driving in this particular image and there is no traffic lights. What will happen?
Traffic jam.
Traffic jam. Okay. Okay. Without particular instructions, if there is no any traffic signal or anything, you guys will get confused which lane to go first, and there will be a chances of accidents. It is very difficult to move around and a lot of time is wasted. The same way, if we have a dedicated traffic signals and all, everyone can go, will follow the clear step-by-step process and there will be no chaos. But if the same thing in this signal, what do you do when you get red in your traffic light?
Stop.
Stop. Okay. When we get green, we
Go.
go. What if it's keep blinking red, green, like this?
Move.
Can you understand anything?
It creates confusion.
Yep. In the same way, if you go and say Python, any computer or anything, please give me this particular thing or please execute this piece of code. Python cannot or any computer cannot understand same like your traffic signal. Computers like our traffic. If you say just go, they cannot just go. They will get confused. What they have to do, they don't know that particular point. We need to give a set of instruction for Python. We need to say, okay, stop, do this particular logic, or after this logic, come out of this logic. And all this instruction is given using by something called as a program. Now you gave instruction, everything, and you got something called a program where set of instructions are given. But what do you mean by programming and why we need that programming? Now, set of instruction you give to computer is called program, but the process of writing that instruction where computer can understand and execute in their specific task or specific task in a platform, that whole together process is known as programming. Okay, we need to solve a problem, automate a problem, or build any applications. We need to build a websites. We need to clean the data. Whatever sets of instruction you give, that is called as a programming. Now, how does this programming work? Now, whatever the problem, whatever the things you write, it will be in the form of human instructions. But your computer or machine cannot understand these instructions. It has to convert into the language of the whatever the machine can understand. For example, if I come and start talking with you guys, any, let's say Japanese language, you won't be able to understand. If I come and talk with any other languages, you will not be able to understand because you don't know about that particular knowledge. Whereas the English is a universal language. Whatever I'm talking, you are able to understand that. So you are able to respond to my what are the things I am able to ask in the class. In the same way, your machine should understand whatever the instruction we are giving. This is the code we'll write. Any code we'll write. There will be something called as a translator or compiler or interpreter. It will convert into a machine understanding code. Now, this machine understanding code is nothing but binary code, which will be having 101010 like this, based on whatever the things you pass. And using this particular code, it will go and execute. Now that's the reason we required programming, because your machines cannot understand whatever a human is trying to communicate with them. Fine. Now, since we have programming language, in that programming language, we have different types of languages. The very first language is high level language. Now, if you see the definition or word of this, high level languages are the languages which are close to human language. For example, if I come and write this particular code, I'm saying sales price is equal to 1.66. If sale price is greater than 2, go and give the discount of 0.1. Else go and give the discount of this. Now I'm able to go and understand that any sales, if it is going greater than 2, I need to go and give a discount of 10%. If my value is 1.66, it is less than 2. So I need to go and give a discount of 5%. Now this I am able to understand. Whatever the language you write, this type of languages are called the high level languages. And any language you take, Java, Python, C, or even SQL, these all are high level languages. We're able to read that, write that and maintain easily. But what happens is the execution will be slow, because it has to go and translate that into a machine code, because your Python or whatever the computer is there, it is not able to understand these languages. It has to convert into a language called as a low level language. It will convert into a low level language which is close to machine or your anything with respect to computer, like 101010, like these kind of languages. And there are some of the languages where you'll go and write binary code and all. In this way, since you are already writing in a binary code, if you come and write, you'll not be able to read it or write it or debug these particular languages. It will be very difficult, but the execution speed will be more. Now, what will happen whenever you go and submit any high level language? Because we can't go and do our low level language, we have to depend on high level language. There will be always called as a compiler. That compiler is where a software, special software that translates your entire high level language to low level language. It checks for error, and if any error exists, it will show that I cannot translate this to computer based language because I'm not able to understand, and all these things it will give on the go using this particular compiler. It is responsible for communicating with your machine. Till now, any doubts? Till now, any doubts? Have we got till now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. This was a high level on languages, but if you go in a deep dive, again in this particular compiled languages, there are two types of languages. One is directly compiled and another is interpreted language. Now, what is this compiled and interpreted language? Now, anyhow, it has to go and translate into machine code, then only your computer will understand. But how the process of translating that machine code, based on that, two different types of languages are there. How does this compiled language do? For example, I will go and say x is equal to 5, y is equal to 5, and z is equal to x plus 5. Now output will be 10. We all know. Now in compiled language, what it does, first it will go and convert this into machine language. It will convert this into a machine language. It will convert all together into machine language. Then it will execute all together from start to end. Now, while since it is execution will be much more faster, because it no need to go and see what all things is there. Everything is converted into machine language. Execution anywhere will be faster, but the error handling or debugging part will be much more difficult, because if you have written 100 lines of code, it is converting each and everything. It will not say at what line this particular issue is there. It will be very difficult to debug. So these kind of languages will come with respect to your C, C++, Java and all. Now, whereas your Python is an interpreted language. Now, what do you mean by interpreted language? Now, in Python, the first line will completely convert into a machine code. It will execute. Then it will execute the next line. Again, it will convert into machine code, executes. And again, here it will convert into machine code and executes. Now, since it is converting and executing, obviously it will be slower in execution, but error handling, whatever the things you do. For example, in this particular line, while converting into a machine code, it was not able to execute. It will throw error here only, and you can easily go and debug it. So there is no required for rapid testing or debugging purpose. Here we have to always depend on something called the keyway to test each and every scenario, because we never know where the code breaks, and it will be always hard to debug it. In the same way, you have what languages compile everything into machine code, then run from the start. Whereas your interpreted language is, it will go one line by line by line and it executes. Whereas even though it is slow when you compare to Java and all, but it has a lot of functionality. That's the reason Python is widely used. And anyhow, even though it is slow, we have few of the libraries and all which we can make use of, so we can make it as faster execution and all. But compared to Java, it is slower, but it's very good in debugging part. These are the very two languages, and we'll be concentrating only on interpreted language that is called as a Python. Now, fine, Sagar, we'll concentrate on Python, but what is Python? Now, we know that Python is a very simple, readable, and versatile. Now, what do you understand by these words? What do you understand by these words?
Versatile means like it can modify according to the situation. It can acquire whatever the context like that. So it is not rigid.
Okay. 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 Others?
And also like versatile means like we can say like we can use Python as a web development and as a application development. Then also for data engineering, security, in every places we can use Python. So that's why it's versatile.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Is someone saying something?
No, nothing, sir. Easy to use to different ways.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So it's very simple, and for readability, is very easy to read, and versatile means it has a rich of libraries. If you want to go data analysis, you go and do. If you want to visualization, you do. You want to do big data processing, you do. You want to do machine learning, you do. You want to build any AI models, we can do. Each and everything is supported in Python. It has lot of features, and it also have a strong community. So that's the reason Python is very versatile and very easy to and things and all. And some of the features of the particular Python is, we have a Python. First and foremost is easy to learn and read. We can easily work on across the different platforms. If you have Mac, I can work. If you have Linux, I can work. If you have Windows, I can work. Different libraries are there. We can integrate with any tool. If you want to integrate with SQL, MySQL, MS SQL, go and do. If you want to integrate with Spark, go. If you want to integrate with AWS, GCP, Azure, Snowflake, Databricks, any tool you take, it will be easily integrated. You can scale your script from small to very large data pipelines very easily. And that's the reason Python is widely used. Now, while compared to other code, how can you say Python is simplicity and readability, Sagar? Do you have any proof for that? If you come and ask, let me come back to ChatGPT. Okay, I'll ask, build a calculator in Java, JavaScript, Python, C++ without any functions, because I don't want to complicate things. I'm just using without any functions. You build me particular stuff. Okay, it is building, it is giving. Okay, now it gave with something Java. Okay, it is saying, okay, public calculator, this and all. It is doing if else, so many things it is doing. Okay, then it gave with Java. It is giving variable, defining everything. It is giving. Then it went with Python. It is just giving input, and it is building some simple code. And if you come with your C++, you have to first say include dream, IO, what does this mean? What is double? If anyone is new to programming, he will get confused what this particular thing is doing. Now, what all this arrow marks and all, it's very difficult to debug. Whereas Python, directly go and say, my operation is plus, go and my operation is equal to minus, my operation is equal to into, my operation is equal to backslash, go and do what? A plus B, A minus B, A into B, A divided by B. It is very simple to handle. And if you say, if B is equal to 0, don't do any division, you throw an error. Very, very easy to handle. Whereas if you come and see in your, again, JavaScript and all, it is alert something and all, it is giving else. You are writing some trace float prompt. And if you come with Java, you are seeing that public class, void, these are all things. It will be these all are called as a boilerplate code. You have to always write this boilerplate code to execute a piece of logic. That's the reason in data field, Python is the only particular language that is having wide demand, because it is simple to implement like that your SQL, no much of headache, it has rich number of libraries and all. I can easily, now if you know something called the case statement inside your SQL, it is much more easy to understand here, because not much headache here. It is close to that of your SQL language. That's the reason Python is widely used. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, fine, Sagar. But how does Python work? How does it actually works? Now, whenever I go write a code, you said, okay, interpreted language, it will go and convert it is doing, but in the backend, what it is doing? Now, whenever you go and write any Python, you will be writing in one of the source file that is having extension of .py or .ipynb. Now, what is this ipynb? What this part py and all? I'll explain you in some time. Please give some time. But you are writing your piece of code in this particular source file, and that is written in some of the code editor. Now, as soon as you go and execute, a compiler will come and it will try to convert into your bytecode. Now, we have something called as a virtual machine inbuilt that can make use of your anything with respect to whatever the applications you are using. That virtual machines, what it does, uses any libraries or anything. If you are using any external libraries, built-in libraries, whatever you are using, it will make use of that. On top of that, it will start converting into a binary code and machine code, and then it will execute. It will always, this any line of code you write, you have written 10 lines of code. Each line of code it will do like this, and if by mistake this particular library is not there, it will throw error. And if while converting this particular code or syntax error is there, it will throw error like this. Here and there only it will throw error, and debugging part will become much more easier. This is a execution flow of your Python. Now, whatever things are explained in past 20 minutes, it is only for your understanding. Now, as a data engineer, no one will go and ask you in the interview how Python executes in the backend. What are you doing? Why Python is used? What are the use cases of Python? No, it's just a basic introduction. So you guys have that basic idea why Python we required, and why we are using Python instead of any other languages. To have that idea, I've shown that. But now comes, fine, Sagar, I got understanding of Python, but now I need to get started with Python. Where I can go and execute my piece of code? You will be using something called the IDE, Integrated Development Environment. These are like softwares that provide it comprehensively, or tools you can say, where you can go and write a code, debug a code, execute a code, whatever the things you do, you will be able to do under this particular IDE. Now, there are n number of IDE. Okay, there is something called as a PyCharm, Visual Code. We have widely used. Jupyter is widely used. Eclipse is widely used. IntelliJ is widely used. Or you can directly go and work with your Notepad also if it is supported. Now, companies might use according to their requirement, whichever IDE they want, they can use. Now, inside our cloud, where will if you come and ask where you'll go and execute Python Sagar, we have Snowflake. Inside there only Python is supported. We can go and write our code in Snowflake. In Databricks, there are something called as a notebooks. Under notebooks, we'll be going and writing. Now, when we come back to Snowflake and Databricks, I'll be explaining you how to execute that code in that particular platform. But now we cannot go and learn each and every IDE. Now, IDE is just the interface, how that particular code execution, everything remains same, because Python code is universal. It's not like your SQL, it doesn't depend on platforms. Whichever platforms you use, Python code will be same. Whereas interface will be different. UI will be different for each of these particular platforms. And they might give some of the features, extra features to make your code look visually good. That's it. That's the reason we will concentrate on one of the IDE called Visual Studio, because this is widely accepted across your all the companies will be using this particular IDE. So we'll try to work on this particular Visual Studio. Now it depends on you guys. Now, if you want, you can go and work in Jupyter. If you have Jupyter already installed, you can work on that. But if you are completely new, please install Visual Studio, and we'll be getting started with Visual Studio, because it is easy to integrate your Visual Studio to Snowflake also. When we'll be come back with Snowflake, we'll go and use that. Now, if you guys don't have anything with respect to laptop and all, you cannot install, you can always go and search something called Google Colab. Under that Google Colab, they will give Jupyter Notebook as an extension. You can go and work there as well. Now, for installation purpose of Visual Studio, let me come back. Okay. For installation purpose of your Visual Studio, if you come and now for those who are new and they don't have access for this particular portal, please log into our KSR Datavision. Once you log into our Datavision, you will be having your, if you don't have any account and all, please go and create a particular account. Now, from now, you can come and access to all the recorded sessions and anything directly from now. If you come and see in the home session, there will be a lot of things. For example, courses, enroll courses. If you see courses, these are all the courses you'll be able to see. If you come under upcoming sessions, you'll be able to see our Snowflake Data Engineer. 5 sessions will be there. Please click on that. As soon as you click, it will ask for you for enroll. Now, since I already enrolled, it will asking for me access. Go and access. And under this particular access, as soon as you come and see, you will be having this particular modules. Now you have modules, you have sessions. If you come and see, there is a sessions, everything, whatever is going on, you can directly come and see your sessions. And if you want to share your feedback or anything, if anything is happening with respect to class, you want some improvement, you can always come and give this feedback here. We'll be always seeing. And if you want to see the recording, it will be always there. Now, since this is going on live, it is showing as live, you can come and join here also directly. Now, if you come and see this particular module section, under module sections, you have all these things, and we have something called the Python installation guide. Now, if you click on Python installation guide, each and every step how to install Visual Studio. Now, what is Visual Studio Code? What you go and do? How you can go and download? Now, steps with respect to Visual Studio. What you need to go and install? Each and every step I have given. Please go and install this. And while installing, please install 3.12.7 version. Please don't install latest version, because for your Snowflake and all, again, 3.13 version is still not supported. So it will be much difficult at that time when we go and connect our VS Code with Snowflake and all. Communicating with Snowflake will become difficult. So for now, please install this. There is no difference in the lower version and all. You can go and install this particular version. And once you do each and every step, how to validate everything, now how to do this, each and every steps are given. Please go and install. And if you want how to install a VS Code, or sorry, Jupyter code, that particular instruction is also given. That will be done using something Anaconda. You can do either any one of them you do. I suggest you guys to go and install VS Code, which was because it has a lot of features and all. We can easily communicate with different objects. Will you guys do this today? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, I will show how to use our Jupyter notebook. Okay. Now, once you install, you can go and search for VS Code. It will always come. But once we come back our Jupyter notebook, it will look like this. Now you have this particular Jupyter notebook. You have all the options here. Now, what all things you have to do? First and foremost, go and create a folder, or I'll say open folder for now. Under any of the section. For example, let me come here and create Python November class. I created one folder. I'll select this folder and we are into this particular folder. Now, as soon as you come and install anything, there will be something called as an extension here. Now, now you have to go and search with Python. Now, as soon as you go and search with a Python, you will be getting some extension. You have to download this particular Python, install on this. Now, since already installed, it is not showing. There will be something called the install with install option for you. Go and install your Python. And if anything is there with respect to update and all, sorry, let me update that. Just a minute. It is restarting. Yeah.
Sagar, where did you go to get that details, Sagar? Sorry, the Python type we got some.
Which one?
Yeah,
Python?
after you had like a number of options that were coming out on the left panel, right? So,
Extensions.
Yeah, I'll show. There are some. If you come and see on the left side, there is an extension button. Last verse 3, extension on extreme right. Now, if you click on that, you will get this extension. Okay, you have to search Python. Now, as soon as you search Python, you will be having all the options. You have to click on this settings button, manage button. For you, if you install first time, it will show like this. Install like this. Just click on that install. That's it. So as soon as you install, you have installed all the Python related things which we can work in VS Code. All right.
so do we need to install all the Python indent and everything?
No, just install Python. It will automatically install other things.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now, after that, go and search for Jupyter. You have to install Python and Jupyter. Only these two things you have to go and say install. Now, once you install, that's it. And there will be something called as a co-pilot. Please go and disable this. Yes. Enable. It's already enabled. You guys need to, it is not enabled. So go and disable, because co-pilot is something automatically it will give code whenever you write any code. You will be start giving code. Please don't enable this. If you enable this, you will not be able to practice correctly. So you have to do 3 things after you log into your VS Code. First and foremost, go and create a new folder or open a folder. You click on open folder, create one particular folder, select that particular folder and select folder. Now, as soon as you select, a particular folder will be there. Then you come extreme left. There is something called the extension. Go and search for Python first, install Python. Go and search for Jupyter, install Jupyter. And search for Copilot and go and disable that. These 3 things you have to do. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as soon as you finish that, now there is something called the file option here. If you click on that, you can come and create a folder or you can come and create a file. I'll create a file and I'm saying 1_Python demo 1.py. As soon as I say py, it has given me something called as a py file. Now I'll be writing my very first Python code. View. Let me increase the zoom. Appearance. Control zoom in. Okay. Now I'll write my very first Python code. I'm saying print I am attending Snowflake batch. Okay. This is my very first code. I'm just saying whatever I'm going to do, you print me and give me that. Now, as soon as you give, it is asking you to, there is a mark like here, it is showing that you have not saved your file. I'll just save my file. And there is a button here. If you go and click, it will execute and your output is shown here. I am attending a Snowflake batch. Now, if you come and see, there is something called as a Python. Now, once you install that Python, that executor, it will always take interpreter and it is going and changing and it is giving whatever the output is there. I'm saying display me print is nothing but display the values whatever you are going and giving inside this particular codes. Now, this will be much more difficult to learn here because I need to always come and see in this terminal what is coming. It is like your command line prompt. It will be much more difficult to go and learn all these things. So again, I'll come, I'll click one particular file here and I'll say one Python demo dot ipynb. ipynb, as soon as I click, a particular page is open. Now, if you come and see, now I can go and write my code here. Okay, it is like a code where you can go and execute. It is like a notebook. You are getting one piece of cell. Under this cell, you can go and execute anything. Now, the same code, I'll take this particular code. I'll come here and I'm executing. Now, when I come and try to execute, it is saying which Python I need to go and use. I'm saying Python environment. Give that Python environment. This is my version I need to use. You go and use, and as soon as you print, you are getting output here only. So for learning purpose, your notebook will become much more easier. And even in Databricks and Snowflake, you'll be having like this notebooks only because it will be much more easy to work in different logic and all. We can subdivide that logic and execute that logic and see how the output will come. As a data engineer, you need to work a lot with something called a notebook. If you are a Python developer, if you are a game developer, if you are a web developer, if you're building any applications, at that time, your .py files will be much more easier because you are not executing a part of your code. You'll be executing all together and you will be writing the lines of code. At that time, you don't need any end output. You need what? From that particular code, you need to understand if anything I have given instruction, that particular instruction it has to do. That's it. It has to nothing to do with the displaying of values. It has nothing to do of displaying of your data. So that's the reason we'll try to ignore as much as possible with .py file, where a lot of things we'll be doing with .ipynb file because we need to see the data, how data is changing, how we are getting each and everything we need to analyze. So it will be much more easy to work. Are we good? Any doubts? Any doubts?
Clear.
Okay. Fine. Fine, Sagar. Now I wrote this particular first syntax, that is print. It is just displaying. Now we'll go and see little bit more. Okay. We'll try to, now I won't go deep today because you guys need to install Python and all. I'll give some idea what all things we'll do. We'll touch some basic stuff. Again, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll start doing some complex stuff. Okay. But now, for now, just give me a minute. Okay. Now, first and foremost thing is, now whenever you go and work with any code, any programming language, we have something called as variables. Now, if you come and ask what are variables, okay, we have something called as variables. Wherever you go SQL, we have variable. Let me increase a little bit more. You go SQL, you have variable. You go JavaScript, you have variables. You go Java, variables. Wherever you go, we have something called the variables. Now, variables are nothing but these are kind of containers. Okay. Now, container is where, for example, you have given a box of 2 boxes are given. Now you need to go and store vegetables and fruit separately. You go and put in one container has fruits, and you go and put one container has vegetables, and you label it as vegetables or fruits. In the same way, I need to go and keep certain things or certain data into my programming language. I will be using this particular thing called a variable. Variables are mainly used for in your programming language to assign certain values dynamically, because today in that particular container you're keeping vegetables, tomorrow you can come and keep any other things whichever you want. So in the same way, your variable will keep on changing as soon as you go and assign few things. Now if you come and see how variables is defined, I'll say what name equal to Sagar. Now what I'm defining here is this particular name is Sagar, and I'll say go and print my name. Now if you come and see my first syntax, I was saying print my values. I'm directly going and printing the values. This is what static value. Now, n number of times I will come and execute, it will give me the same data. Now I'm saying name is equal to something Sagar, and I'm saying instead of go and print the Sagar, you print this particular name. Now if you come and say it is Sagar, now I'll come and say this name. Next, I'll come and take this name again. I'll take name. I'll say Mahesh. Okay, I'm going and changing. Now, if I come and say, it will show Mahesh. Now, whatever the data you go and keep on changing, that things you can keep inside your variables. And we will be using extensively these variables a lot inside our programming language. So we'll try to understand few of the information about these variables. What are variables? How does it work? If you come, just give me a minute. Let me come and call this. Now, if you come and see here, we are declaring and assigning a values. Okay, I say age equal to 35, age height equal to 5.11, name is equal to something, coaching is equal to this. And I'm printing my values along with my static values. Whatever my static value is there, I'm printing my variables also. Now, today it might be 35, tomorrow it might be 36. He's something today name is Guru, another person can come Krishna. Now, whatever things we want, we'll go and assign that, and that information will be stored inside your variable. And we have few of the key points with respect to a variable. Whenever this particular variable is defined, we no need to go and explicitly create a data type. It is something called as a dynamically typed. Now, what do you understand by the word dynamically typed?
Keep on changing.
Okay.
It will change.
Okay. Okay. See, the dynamically typed is nothing but, now, if I say age is equal to 35, now 35 is a kind of integer. Yes.
Yes.
Now, I said height is equal to 5.11. It is a kind of a float data type.
Yes.
I said name is equal to Guru. It's a string data type.
Yes, it's true.
Now I am printing anywhere did I go and define my variable. Now if you come and see in SQL, you are defining any table, a column will define, and then you will define a column, what type of data type is there, right?
Yes.
Now your column is also storing some value. It's kind of a container. But inside your Python, did I anywhere go and define my age is an integer type of data variable? My height is a float type of variable. Did I go and define anywhere?
No.
That's what you mean by dynamically typed. It will automatically go and assign the value based on the values you go and give here. Now, if I go and say age equal to double quotes of 35, now it understand that if anything is coming with double quotes, that is a string kind of a data type. It will be stored as a string. Now, anything you go and assign based on the value, it will dynamically change the data type of that variable. That's why it is called as a dynamically typed. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are certain rules and regulation whenever you try to go and define any variables. I'll come back to that. But first and foremost, you need to understand is these values, whatever is there, it will keep on changing during your programming. and you can assign any kind of data type. We have n number of data types or data structures in Python. We'll be seeing in further classes. No need to worry. But you need to understand what are this particular information. Okay. Now, if you come and say, I said age equal to 32. Now, this particular age will, whenever you go and define age, tomorrow again will come age 1 like this. No, right? It is fixed, right? It has some meaning. You're giving some identity, identifying for that. Yes.
Yeah.
Now that is called as an identifier. Now, identifier, you're going and giving a particular name. Whenever you go and give a particular name to the variable or function or object inside your Python that you are defining, it is called an identifier. And yes, sir. Now, if you come and see this 32, tomorrow it can change to 33, 34, 35. Any values it can go and change. Yes. Yes.
Yes, it can.
Yes, we can change.
Then that is called as a literal. Okay, in Python it is called as literal or a value. Whenever you go and say what is the actual data that you are assigned, it is called as a literal. What is identifying that particular value is called as a identifier, and hold together this is called as a variable. Now inside literal we have different types of literal. We have string, numeric, string, anything, whatever the type of data type you go and do that kind of literals. Now don't get confused, because in some of the code, whenever you will try to go and debug, it will say the literal which you are passing is not correct. This type of errors and all come. Literal is nothing but a value or what values you are going and assigning to that variable. Now, if you come and ask me, hold together, this particular thing is called as a variable. Now, that being said, we'll come back to rules. What all rules and regulation I need to make use? Why? Let me bring it back. Okay, there are certain rules and regulation I need to pass while going and defining any variables. The first and foremost rule is, now I'll write something as hash symbol. I'm saying rules of variables. Okay, I'm writing like this. I'll take the same code, I'll come here and I'm executing. It is throwing invalid syntax. Yes. Now, if I run this piece of command, did it throw any error? No, right? Now, in front of this, if you go and put something called a hash, it is considered as comments. It will never throw an error. Now, this is not converting into any machine language. It is for displaying purpose of anyone who is seeing the code. So it will not be converted. So it is a comment. Okay, that's the reason it is not throwing any error. Now, the first and foremost thing is, your variables should always start with either alpha, bet, or underscore. Cannot use any numbers or any special character. I'm saying the variable should start. That means the very first letter. Now you defined with something what? Name. This name should always start with alphabet. You cannot go and say one name. Now, as soon as you go and say one name, it will throw an error saying that invalid decimal literal, because you cannot go and define your particular alphabet or any numerical values. Now, if I go and say any special character like dollar symbol like this, if I come and say, it will not take that particular value. Now, if I come and put what? Underscore. Now it is able to identify. The only special character you can start with is nothing but underscore. You cannot go and use any alphabet at the start. Sorry, you cannot go and use any numerical function at the start, or you cannot go and use any special character at the start. Now, can I go and use like this, Sagar? Name one. Yes. you can go and use anywhere you want in the middle after my first alphabet. Anywhere I can go and use anything. Okay, any number or anything I can go and use. Can I go and use like this, Sagar? I can use this also. I think estimate. I think dollar will not be able to use. We cannot use special character, my bad. But numerical part, wherever you want, you can go and use that. Okay. That being said, can I go and use this, Sagar? We can go and use this also. Say underscore here, underscore here. Only special character can go and use this underscore. Apart from that, if you're going and using any other special character, it is throwing you an error. Have we got till now? Have we got till now?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Now I'll write some code. You tell me it's correct or not. I'll say sal2 is equal to 10,000. I'll say underscore sal underscore equal to 10,000. Say underscore 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 sal equal to 10,000. I'll say underscore equal to 10,000. I'll say 1 underscore sal equal to 10,000. Is this correct?
First, second, and third will be executed, and fourth and
Okay. Anyway, as I said, 1 you cannot use. I cannot come and use this. It is wrong. What about this?
that is also not executed.
Okay. Okay. Others?
It will work. You can start with underscore.
Okay. Okay. Now I'll just go and print this. Why to worry? I'll say print whatever my identifier name is there. Now, so I comment say it is giving 10,000. Now let me, if you are getting confused, I'll put 20,000. It will give 20,000. Now you can directly go and put 1 underscore. That's fine. The number of character whichever you go and pass, there is no limit for the minimum is 1. More than 1, any number of characters you want, you can go and put. But my starting letter should be always with what? Either underscore or alphabet. You cannot use any numerical value or any special character. Have you got?
This is only for declaring variables, right?
Yeah, declaring the variables. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, fine. Now, I'll write something. Say import keyword. Now, don't worry what is this import and all, what I'm doing and all. We'll see in the further classes and all. You no need to worry. But now, I'll say import keyword. Let me print length of keyword dot kw list. Okay. I'll say print kw. Okay, keyword dot. Keyword dot kw list. Okay. Now, if you come and see, there are around 35 number of keywords used inside your Python. If you come and see, these all are the keywords. Now, what are these keywords are nothing but let me copy this. Let me put this here. And say enter, enter, enter. Okay. Now, what are these keywords are nothing but these keywords are used to identify something called the syntaxes inside your Python. Now, if I come and use this syntax and I say, for example, you know that if anything with respect to if condition, there is something called the if else condition. I need to do conditions. I can use if in that my Python code. If I say if is equal to Mahesh, and come and say print if, it will throw you error saying that invalid syntax. I'll come and use and anything you go and take and come and run, it will throw an error. So whatever these particular keywords are there, because it is kind of a syntax you are using inside your Python, we cannot assign this as a variable inside your Python. Now, I said this, I'll come and say, I'll take the same code. and I'll say read it through error. Read it through error. Why? I'm using and only, right?
Yes, it's a case sensitive.
Is it case sensitive?
Exactly. Your Python is case sensitive. Okay. What do you mean by case sensitive is nothing but whenever you go and assign, for example, age equal to 10, age equal to 20. If I go and say print age, comma age, these two are different entity. Whenever you go and change any case, anything with respect to anything cases, it will always go and consider it as two different entity. For your programming language, this is what is widely used. Now, if you are going and changing that case and using, it will not throw error, but it is not advisable to go and use any of the keywords as a declaring variable. It will be always a bad practice to do that. Second point is cannot use any keywords for assigning variables. Third point is variable or anything, any other objects are case sensitive. We go till now. Have we got till now?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. These are the main three rules you need to follow whenever you go and define any variables. Fine. Fine. Now we'll see how variables is exactly working. Okay, I know I got to know the rules. I got to know how it's working and all. Now let me take a simple example. I'm saying x equal to 5 and I'm saying print of x. Now one more thing. I'm going and doing print of x like this. It is throwing error. Yes. It is throwing error, right?
Yeah.
Why? Why? What? Now, as I said, your Python is very easy for debugging. Can you easily debug where it is throwing error? Print.
Line 2.
It is explicitly saying right? Your print is not defined well. That means what? Whatever the code you write now, clear what I wrote here? Small case. Here I written one uppercase. Yes. That's the reason it is throwing error. Now, if you come and see, it always something called as a small case you have to use. Without small case, if you're going and changing, because your Python is case sensitive, it will throw you an error. Now I have this particular value. Now I have x is equal to 5. I said print of x is giving what? 5. Now I went, I said x is equal to 10. Print of x. Again, I said same thing. Now I got 10.
Yeah.
I defined both the variables or both the things identifier is x only. Yes. Now, how does this particular thing work? Let me come back. Up. Now, whenever, as I said, variables are the container that will store a value. Now, inside your particular variable, this is a memory where it is going and storing the data. When I said x is equal to 5, it has created one identifier as x and it has gone and pointing that values here. Okay, values are stored in a memory and identifier is just pointing to this. Now, when I said x is equal to 10, now there is one more value here. S. S.
Yeah.
Now your variable identifier is pointing to this. Now, as soon as it goes and points here, this thing will go and delete. It will be deleted completely. How it will delete? There will be something called as a garbage collector. There will be something called as a garbage collector inside your Python. If any values are not assigned, it will come and delete, and it will see if this 5 is assigned to any other values. No. If it is not assigned, it will completely remove this. Now I have one more use case. I have x is equal to 5, y is also equal to 5. Yes. Now, what's the same thing in this two definition? 5 is common.
Yeah, it's a different variable, so it will allow that.
Now, I have inside memory 5. I have x, I have y. It will be pointing towards like this. Now, I will not go and create separate memory for this. It is just pointing towards like this. Now, both the values are being pointed to 5. Now, I'll come and say x is equal to 6. Now you have a different thing called 6. Now, instead of pointing here, it will remove this pointer and it will go to 0.6. Now, is y 5 assigned to y still? It is not removed? Yes. Yes. This particular 5 is still assigned to y.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it will not be removed until unless this assignment is there. Now, if I go and say again y is equal to 6, it will go and point here. Then it will be completely removed. Are we good?
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. In this way, your variable values will keep on changing. Now, if you come and see, I said x is equal to 5, it printed. Now, I need something called as what type of variable it is here. Okay, I say type. Whenever you go and see what type of variables I need to see that you are getting output and all, I'll just go and say what is the type of that particular variable, and I'll say print this particular type. I think just a minute. I have to give
Type of X.
Yeah, thank you. I have to do type of X. Okay, what type of value you are going and doing, that particular variable, what is the type? It will give as an integer. Okay, now this particular value it is giving as integer, and I'll go and say this particular into a string. Okay, now anything you go and put in a double quotes, it is called as a string. You are keeping the values as string, and if I come and execute, it is dynamically changing that value to string. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
In this way, your Python is dynamically typed. Now I'll show you one particular code. You guys need to explain me what's happening here. Okay, I said x is equal to 5, y is equal to 10, x is equal to y, print x, comma, y. What will be the output?
10, 10.
Okay. Okay.
10, 10.
5, 5.
Sorry.
5.
Okay.
5, 5.
Okay. Now I'll say
No, 5,
y
10
is,
only.
5,
y
10.
is equal to 20. Now you tell me.
5 and 20.
5 and 20. Okay. First output is
No, it's 20,
20, 5.
5 and 20. Okay, one output. Then 20, 5.
20.
10, 20.
10, 20.
10, 20. Okay, then that's it. That's it. Okay, let's execute this. We got 10, 20. Why we got 10, 20? If we come and see this, I'll keep it here. I'll take this. X is equal to, let me take, I said, come on. X is equal to 5. Y, I said what? Let me see. What was that definition? Okay, 5 is equal to 10, right? Let me copy this. Okay. Now, I said what? X is equal to 5. X is pointing towards 5 in a memory. I said Y is equal to 10. X is pointing towards a memory. Now I said what? X equal to 5. Yes. Now X equal to 5. I am doing what? Equating my values here. Okay. I'm saying whatever the value of Y is there, you go and equate to X. So this will come and point here. It is removed. No longer it's there. Now, is 5 assigned anywhere in my code? No, right?
No, it's not assigned.
Completely removed by your garbage collector. Now what I said, Y is equal to 20. It will be removed. In this way, your X is equal to 10, Y is equal to 20. That's the reason your output was 10, 20. Are we good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One last thing. I say A, comma B equal to 5, 4, 6. I said print of A, comma B. Okay. I'm doing what? A, comma B is equal to 4, 6. I'm saying print of A, comma B. If I come and run this, what it is doing here? It is assigning this value to this value to this. Yes.
Yes.
Now, instead of going and writing in multiple lines, I can write my variables in one single line. We can come and assign this. It is called the multi-assigned variables. Or you are assigning multiple variables. It will automatically go based on whatever variables you have. It will go and do. You cannot now, we have defined 2 variables. You cannot go and say like this. If you come and do this, it will throw an error because how many variables you have defined, that many values you are going and doing. It is called the multi-assigned assignment, multiple assignment right here. Multiple assignment I'm doing and I'm getting these values. I'm having A, comma B. Now I'll write A, comma B equal to B, comma A. And I'll say print A, comma B. What is the output?
B, comma A.
B, comma A is output.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll throw an error here.
6, 4.
B, comma A. Second one is error. Next is 6, comma
6, 4.
okay, 6, 4. Okay. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Now, I defined here my variables. It is there, value is there. A, comma B is value is there, right? Now, if you come and assign this in next cell also, that value is already there, right? Yes.
That's a different sheet, right? That's a different.
No. This is
Different session.
all together one session.
Oh,
The cell
okay,
can be
okay.
anywhere. Okay.
We
You
thought
can use.
it's the same.
Yeah,
No.
different session.
Yeah, we can use the ones you define in one cell. You can go and use in any of the cells. That will not be an issue. Okay.
Okay.
Now you cannot go and say, now this is one particular file. Now I'll define one more file here. Okay. I'll say 2.python.ipynb. Now here, if I comment say print of a comma b, it is not able to identify. Why? Because this is in the new particular page, where this inside this particular page, I've defined in one of the cell, it has known that particular values, it is keeping now. Now I'm saying a comma b is equal to b comma a. What I'm doing here? What I'm doing here?
Exchange the values to the variables.
I'm doing the same thing here. Instead of x, a is equal to b, I'm saying a equal to b and b equal to a. Can you say this? Can you say this? Can you say this? Now, as I said, a will go to this, b will go to this. I'm saying whatever the a value is there assigned to b, whatever the b value is there assigned to a. Yes.
Yes.
If I come and execute, now what is doing? 6, 4. Here you are going and doing what? Swapping of the variables. Are we good? Are we good?
But it is a string now.
Which one? Sorry. What is? I don't get your question. What was that? What was that question?
It is a string, huh? String.
It is. It is.
String.
Stream. What is stream? String. String. You are saying data type is still what? What data type you have defined here? If you come and see print of type of A, comma type of B. It is still an integer because why? Anything if I don't pass inside double quotes, it is always if it is something called as type of data type, it will take. Now if I come and say 0.25 or 0.45, I'm running this now. You have that values, you have that values, and if I come and see, it is automatically taken as float. Say you asked, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now based how you define your variable, it will go and assign that. If it had kept in a double quotes, it would have been string. Got it?
Okay.
That's it for today's class. Now we'll be having class tomorrow, same 6:45 to 8. Monday, you guys will not be having any classes because I have some work, so I will not be able to take class on Monday. So the class will be there tomorrow at 6:45 to 8 a.m. And if you guys have any doubts with respect to course and all, please reach out to Mahesh or anything from our team. And if you want to see the syllabus, if anyone is new, you can always go and see the syllabus here. Each and every things with respect to syllabus, whatever we are going and teaching, that is there in your portal. And also there is one particular YouTube video which shows detailed roadmap of whatever things we're going to do in our batch. You can go and see this also.
Sagar, I want to know. I have seen multiple videos on YouTube also, but I'm not able to become an expert in the Python and SQL. What is the reason? Actually, if I want to become an expert in that, how can I?
See, in Python,
And I am able to understand everything, but I am not able to write the question.
That's what. So what happens is Python is not like it's something also logic building you have to do. You have to practice as much as possible. Now what might happen is you know the things, you know everything, but the fundamentals might be somewhere lagging. So without practice, you won't get anything in Python. Now any programming language you take, it is not like simple things you go and English grammar or anything you do and do, because the more and more you practice, then only it will come. The more and more you work with the projects and all, you'll understand. It is not one goal. Like if you say 10 days, I'll practice each and everything, I'll become pro. No, never. Python, even till now, I'm learning Python. Python is that much vast because there will be something even I'll be forgetting in the syntaxes and all. Your main aim should be, if any code is given, you need to debug it, you need to understand this. If anything logic is given, nowadays you guys no need to go and run behind writing logic and all, because each and every companies have ChatGPT integrated. Now I can easily write a code, but you need to understand how to debug that if anything code is giving that it is not giving correctly. This should be my requirement. It is giving wrong. You guys need to understand that. Only thing where you will be asking questions regarding Python will be interview. There you need to crack. Once you crack, it will be much more easier. You don't need to worry. Python will come. The more and more you practice, it will come in an easy way. Got it?
Yes, but how to build the logic? That is the
That's what
problem.
we'll be explaining. That's what we'll be explaining in our current classes and all. If you come and see in your last batch, let me see, where is that batch? Not this.
Python is very vast. So for data engineer, how much it requires? Can you explain it to me?
See, for data engineer, Python, variable, string, operators, list, conditional flow, loops, tuple, sets, dictionary, functions, lambda function, exception handling, how to do connection with modules, pandas. These all things are required. If you know this, more than you know how to do file handling and all. Now, inside our particular things, now each and every assignments will be giving like this. Once as we build the logic and all, I'll be giving assignment. You can go and see this particular code like this. You can see each and every how to build a logic, each and everything. How the more and more code you write, the more and more logic you'll get. That's not how you need to build a Python. It's not like straightforward. But if you compare to any other language, Python is much more easy to learn.
After understanding everything, I am able to write a little bit the logic, but for the real time scenarios, at that time also I am not able to write the code.
See, in data engineering, real-time scenario will be applied in PySpark with respect to Python. Okay, I'm saying it's very easy for Python to use as a PySpark code. Only things we'll be using is how to use for loop, how to assign a variable, how we can do if-else condition. These are all things we'll be doing with respect to Python. You need to understand more with respect to PySpark if you come and ask me. If you're good with PySpark, then most of the companies will take you. If you're a little bit having knowledge with Python also.
What is the main difference between PySpark and Python?
PySpark is one of the library that is used in Python, where PySpark is similar to that of your SQL. Now, whatever you can go and write your SQL code, that you will writing in the form of Python is called as a PySpark. Everything, Windows function, case statements, whatever you take, aggregations, whatever you take in SQL, that you can write in the form of Python, that is called as a PySpark.
It is easier than Python?
Yeah. But one thing you have to understand is in the backend thing, it is using Spark architecture and all. So you have to write a optimized code. How to write a optimized code? Syntax and all, it is easy. You need to understand to write a optimized code, how we can write. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Thank you.
Will you be cover something like AI should be integrated in everywhere, right?
Yeah, our
So in
projects
that,
everywhere. See,
yes.
whenever I'll
In
be
this
having
VS Code also, something like one of my friend is working in the SQL or
that's
database
what I'm
domain.
saying. That's what I'm saying. While practicing, you need to have foundation strong, right? Don't use AI. When we come back to our project and all, we'll be
Yes.
always
So
having AI.
there, yes, that's what I'm asking. So now
No.
we, for the practice purpose, we will be disabled that all the things.
Yeah.
But in case when we have to go with the project level, so at the time, can you please help me that thing as well?
Yeah, that's
Help
what.
us
See, for
to
example, now
how to
DBT.
use that.
I'm doing DBT for the current batch. In this particular DBT, we have ChatGPT integrated here also. I'll show you. Now I no need to write one single line of code with current tools. But the problem will be the whatever the code it will give, it will not be always correct. You need to optimize that code. You need to understand the code, what issues are happening, each and everything you need to understand. That's the main thing. Now, if you come and see, there is generate with Copilot here. Are you able to see SQL code? Now, whatever you go and give here, it will generate and give. I'll say create a snapshot for me. What is snapshot and all? Don't worry. I'm saying go and create a code for me. It will go, think it everything. Now we'll be implementing inside our Snowflake also will go and implement. See, code is given by this. Did I go and write anywhere code? No, right? Now, once this code is given, you need to understand what this code is doing. That level of knowledge you should know. Inside your Python Databricks also, if you come and see, a code will be given directly. But you need to understand what code is given by that particular ChatGPT or anything, whether it is whatever my requirement is there, it is making sure that that is satisfied or not. That all things will be same. Because nowadays you have to do smart learning instead of hard learning.
Here in the course, you are writing the 5 to 6 line of code, but in the real time, it's 200 line of code. So at that time, it is hard to debug the code to understand actually the logic and all.
See, that's the reason we have to go from foundation. First, we'll learn foundation, then we'll bring next level, then we'll build next level. In this way, only you have to go directly. If I come and show you 1,000 line of code, for example, let me show you one particular logic. This logic we wrote in our Snowflake project. If I directly come and show you this particular logic, will you be able to understand this? You tell me. This is store procedure logic which we have written. See, this much big logic we have written. Are you able to go and debug this directly?
No.
That's the reason we'll first say what is store procedure, how these things, how we need to assign variables. Fundamental class 2, 3 class will do. Then we'll come into advanced thing. Then we'll be able to go and debug things and see how what all the issues are happening, everything. Because based on the output, whatever is coming, we have to debug.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubts? Are we good?
Yeah, Mr. Good.
Sure.
Hello. Yeah, I have one doubt. Actually, for two identifiers, one value is assigned. So how it will work? Can you show once?
I showed you, right? We have two identifiers. One value is assigned. It will be having only one value as 5. Both the values will be pointed to that value.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. But one it will remove, right? Here above x equal to 5 and
It will, if you completely remove, if you come and say x is equal to 6, y is equal to 6, then it will remove this because no values is assigned to y. Y is not assigned to anything, it will go and remove.
Okay. In that visual code also it will display 0 or how it will display?
No, it will display whatever the values you assign, then only it will display. It will display 6.
Okay. But here linkage it will remove, right?
It's a backend thing. I just showed you how in backend it's doing.
Okay.
You don't need to worry because memory optimization is much more complex in Python. If you are a Python developer, you have to worry about that. But now, basic stuff I just showed you how it is working in the backend.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
In this
Sagar,
course, how much you will go deep dive into the Databricks?
See, whatever PySpark we do, that will go for 2.5 weeks. Each and everything PySpark will be doing with respect to Databricks. And we'll build end-to-end project also there. Now, whatever the Python I'm explaining, that Python will be building in the project. We learn each and everything with respect to PySpark in Databricks. But not all the components and all, lot of things, no. Snowflake will go up to 35 class. Databricks will go up to 12 class.
Recently, in current market, they are asking about the CI/CD also for data engineers.
See, I'll show you how to move code from one environment to another. That is what CI/CD they're asking. Because you need to move code from current environment to another next environment. You will be not building any DevOps pipelines. That is not your work.
Okay.
How to integrate with Git, how to move code from one environment to another environment. If you have in dev environment, I need to move to the next environment. How to work with GitHub, that's what is CI/CD they're asking. How it's working in the backend. They're not asking you to build up pipelines of CI/CD. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Sure, guys. Mahesh, are you there?
Sagar, I have a question. So, you're saying x equal to 5 and y equal to 10. When you say x equal to y, we are saying x equal to y. That means x is 5, that y equal to 5, right? So why it is taking y equal to 10 value?
Where it is taking y is equal to 10 value? Here?
No. Yeah.
So I said x is equal to 5. It went and assigned x is equal to 5. I said y is equal to 5. It went and assigned y is equal to 10. Now I said x is equal to 5. Whatever the values of x, you go and assign. So it is pointing here, it removed here. Then I said y is equal to 20. Then y, it pointed to 20, it removed this completely.
Yeah,
Got
we are
it?
saying x equal to y, right? So that means x, whatever the x value it is having,
Whatever
it has.
the value of y, you go and assign to x, I'm saying.
Oh, I have to think on a reverse way. Okay.
Okay, fine. Fine, guys. I have another class. Tomorrow, 6:45, we will continue. If you have any doubts, we'll continue. Okay? Sure. If you have any doubts with respect to course and all, please reach out to Mahesh and any of our team. They'll help you. Thank you.